Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cyberspace PC. Doing an inaugural clip today about why anyone would buy a 2080 Ti. What's now August 2020, when most of us know, if you haven't heard, NVIDIA is dropping their next generation 3000 series cards next month. And so that begs the question, why would anyone pay top dollar for a 2080 Ti? But I didn't buy it new. I found an awesome price, less than $800 on eBay, Founders Edition. I get a lot of my PC parts pre-owned on eBay. It requires just a little bit of patience, knowing the price you're willing to pay, and knowing what you're looking for. What PC part do you need? I suggest spending a little time on eBay, holding back, looking at the different components you want. Don't just go on there and make a few clicks and buy something, because, number one, you may not be, knowledgeable about, what part will fit in your system, what's best for your budget and your build. Just have a little patience. Surprisingly, in the past I've ordered used parts, and I get the delivery and it looks like it's barely been used, or sometimes not even used at all. Now, I have had some negative experiences. I know I ordered a 1060 a couple of years ago that looked like it had been mined just about to death. It still ran okay, but it just looked really like it had this kind of caked on grime that I just couldn't really get off, and it was in the heat fins. And I would just recommend buying from a listing that you can actually see a pretty good picture. How does it look? That kind of gives you some clues as to whether the card is good. I unboxed the 2080 Ti. What kind of stood out was the weight of the card. The box slides off at the top, for that way you can kind of display the card, a very nice touch. As for the card itself, it was, it had a good weight to it. I've never actually felt a card that weighed that much, and I believe it's because of the shroud being pretty much metal on both sides. Very nice. I do have a Red Devil 5700 XT that I like the card, but the 2080 Ti definitely has a little bit more of a nice touch to it than any card I've actually had before. Not a lot of, there's no plastic except for the fans, I believe, on the card. And I have been a very vocal critic of NVIDIA's pricing structure for the, especially the Turing series. I had a 2060 6 gigabyte that I tried out last year, and it just really left me feeling underwhelmed. I just kind of felt it wasn't really fast enough. Played a lot of control on it, and it just, there's a lot of pop-ins, a lot of blurry textures on the screen, and just didn't have a very positive experience with the card. So I ended up upgrading to the Red Devil 5700 XT, and I've been pretty happy with it. But when I saw the deal on the 2080 Ti, I hadn't seen one for less than $800. And of course, you always wonder, is this a scam? But it looked legit. The seller had, some good reviews, so ordered ordered the card and just couldn't pass it up. Of course, the big fly in the ointment is that the 3080 is dropping next month, and it's rumored to be about 20% faster, according to a leak on WCCF Tech. Non-specific. It didn't say if that was an application, a game, nothing specific, but wouldn't be surprised if it's overall 20% faster in standard gaming. And that's not even to mention the likely upgraded ray tracing capability of the next generation of cards. My guess is that the 2080 Ti's will probably drop down a bit more, probably around $600 or so once the 3080 Ti drops. You'll probably have a big push at the beginning of gamers upgrading to the next gen, and that probably create a little bit of a glut. And of course, you have a little bit of almost a panic setting in amongst sellers. And with the 1080 Ti's, we saw $400, sometimes even into the $300 range once the 2080 Ti's drop. So if you're looking to get a 2080 Ti, 2080, etc., don't just assume that the price is going to keep dropping after the initial launch, because as we saw with the 1080 Ti, the prices kind of stabilized and actually started climbing back up again once that initial wave of sellers kind of dried up. So definitely, if you see a deal, $600, $500, if it goes that low, I would definitely consider it if that's a card you're interested in. And there's a lot of speculation that ray tracing is going to be 4 times better on the next series, but in all practicality, I'm sure the 2080 Ti will hold up for the next couple of years pretty well, unless it's just insane performance. But living in the real world, I think that there's what makes a good card is the performance, but also what price you're getting, what value you're getting for that card. So just keep that in mind. But of course, that's all speculation. We don't know what the 2080 is launching at, what price. 3080, what price it's launching at. Certainly, we don't know what price the 3080 Ti is launching at. So that could have an impact on the second-hand value of the 2080 Ti. But I am looking forward to running the card, getting you some feedback as to how I think it performs compared to what I've been playing on thus far. And I will say that this is a really kind of a stunning looking card, and I take back my previous statements about the MSRP, which they say it was $999, but we all know that it was more like $1,200. And I think right now I hear that they're going for $1,500 new because the stock is dwindling. But I still think that paying that much for a card is a bit high. But at this point, it's water under the bridge to some extent, and I'm looking forward to putting into my setup. It's a humble Ryzen 5 3600 setup. Take it for a test drive. Might make a few videos onto how it performs. But what do you guys think about buying a 2080 Ti right now? Are you still rocking that? Have you sold it? Looking forward to the next gen? Would you buy one right now if you could get it for under $800? What price do you think is fair? Let me know in the comments down below. And please don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. And until then, we'll talk to you in the next video. Have a good one.